Welcome to TradersArmy.com, defending your right to build wealth and preserve capital for generations to come.
Yeah, Friday. What's up, everybody? Friday morning. Welcome to today's edition of the Daily Market Commentary. I'm your host, Chuck Fulkerson. Hope you all had an amazing day yesterday. And as we are heading into wrapping up the week, we see that the S&P is up 7. The NASDAQ is up 32 points this morning. Crude oil down just a smidge, and gold is also down just a little bit. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor, click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get the alerts, the updates, and all those things as they happen. If you're not new, do me a favor, hit that little like button down below. Help to spread the awareness of the channel. It means so much when you do that. So do me a favor, hit that like button, smash it real quick. Just takes a second. Good. Okay. All right. S&P up 7 points this morning. Let's dive right in. So we had a live trade room yesterday at Traders Army, and we had talked about a couple of different areas and levels. And one of them we spoke about was potential breakout above this 3125 area. And so now we've kind of hit up there and are just kind of basing around. So I think that there's still a possibility for a long. If somebody wants to get long and put your stop underneath this 3119 level, it seems like there's a little bit of a reason for a room to roam up this way. We're not getting a whole lot of follow-through on that movement, and so without that follow-through, I'm a little bit more concerned that we're not going to see that breakout to the upside. But just keep your stops fairly tight in this instance, because this is sometimes where you see price move up and then back down and then just chop around a little bit, and that can oftentimes get you stopped out fairly quickly. So I still think it's a very valid play, because when you have a straight down candle like this, we call that clean air, and there's clean air for price to move through here going forward. So that may happen right at market open, or a little bit before that, where we see that break happen just above. Same thing in the NASDAQ. Same picture here exists. This is the 8340 level we were looking at yesterday for a potential breakout. And in the Globex session, we've not really done a whole lot. But once again, we have that clean air up above us for that breakout to occur. And this is, one of the shapes that we like to see is when I have these, higher swings here with price doing this. Now, technically that can break out either way. There can be a breakout, either direction. And so it is possible also that we could drop off. And if we do, we've got a couple of reversal points down here below to look at. But ultimately, I want to maintain a little bit more of a bullish bias as we're kind of rallying back up. Crude oil put in a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern yesterday as we saw price pull down from this 59 point. We got all the way down here to 58, and then we chopped around again, and we're continuing to fall a little bit off of that 59 point. And a little bit of a head and shoulders pattern here. So some possible reversals down in here. We were speaking a lot about this yesterday, and I think that the better probability longer term is that we could see a breakout above this 59.5, provided we get basing here on the 4-hour chart. But on the smaller time frame, we could get a little bit of a pullback. Now, it may or may not set up for a good short, but it allows this, price to come back down into a region where we see a reversal for us to move a bit higher. So keep an eye on this 56.97 by 56.81 area down here for a potential reversal. Now, it's not a fresh level, because we've already moved away from it once, and then this little candlestick here, let me zoom in on it so everyone can see it more clearly. This little candlestick here was a retest of that level, which lowers the probability of it working a second time, which is why it's a confirmation entry. In the world of gold, we are down a little bit off of the highs from earlier in the week, and getting a little rally here in the overnight sessions. This actually sets up really well for a candle-to-candle short when we're coming up to here. These are nice reversal candles we're putting in, but none of them has gotten lower than a prior candle's low, so keep an eye on that one for later today. And then as we move over to bonds and currency markets in the ZN, we are coming close to our potential reversal area here after we had a nice bond trade from our Wednesday daily market commentary off this little level here. We're coming closer to this level. It's a confirmation entry because our big picture has changed direction. Our big picture is now down. And whenever your big picture is down, you have to look at confirmation entries when you're trading in the opposite direction of the big picture trend. In the Aussie, we did have a little 15-minute level where price came into this zone, but if you take a look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, after 6 candles, price had gone basically nowhere, and so this trade unfortunately didn't work out. This was a little tiny zone, very, very small level, giving us just a little bit of profit potential, but with nothing happening there, the better opportunity then was for the breakout to the upside, and that's what we saw happening. And this is what oftentimes happens. If you get into a trade and the 6-candle rule takes effect, it oftentimes sets up for a potential breakout. And so, interesting to know if anybody was able to catch that breakout in the overnight, because it did wind up, having 3 touches, a little bit of basing below, and became a good breakout opportunity. As we look at, the Aussie right now, we are, if I were just to look at these different swing highs and swing lows, we've just popped above this lower high trend line, and there's room for price to continue to run. If I go to the 4-hour chart, it's a little bit easier to see. Kind of a double bottom pattern. Now, technically, a double bottom should come after a strong move down, but I think there's room for price to continue to run up. I don't love any of the supply up here for a reversal, and so the more prudent thing to do right now would be to look for a good area to get long. And so part of that could be, do we get any basing in front of here for potential breakout? Next would be the euro. So on the euro, we had a breakdown line right in here. Price has bounced off of that a number of times, has not come back to it. The euro is selling off just a little bit from the European market opens today, and selling pressure on each of these wicks, meaning the market keeps trying to come back up, and it's unable to do so with these hourly wicks that we're seeing right here. So there's really nothing I want to add to the trade at the moment. I'm going to leave it be, as we've got some supply above and a potential breakdown here. On the 4-hour, looking at this thing on the 4-hour trend, we're in an upward trend, but if we take a look at price getting weaker inside of this area, because we had that huge move up, a smaller move up, and now a smaller move up, that's lowering of momentum. If I throw my momentum indicator on here, you'll see that our momentum indicator is having lower highs while price had been putting in higher highs. That's actually a sign for a decent potential reversal. And then in the Canadian dollar, we had this parabolic move up, huge run to the upside in the Canadian dollar. Typically, we expect those speed candles to get retraced. I don't think this will get retraced till the middle of next week, but I don't have anything to lean on between now and then as for a trade. We could see price come down about halfway and reverse, and so look for a potential candle-to-candle trade in that halfway retracement of that speed candle. Great British Pound and Japanese Yen are our last 2 markets to look for today. We are dropping off of the high, giving us a little bit of a base, and there's a potential for the next leg to be down. So this actually sets up for a really nice candle-to-candle short coming from this level. I think there's a chance for price to move for a first target down to this 30.98 area. And then the Japanese Yen, looking at the Japanese Yen as we are in between our levels, going to the 4-hour chart, we can see that we've put in a higher swing high and a higher swing low. I've got some resistance here to overcome in order for me to confirm this upward trend is actually intact. And if we overcome that resistance, then we've got a better reason to be long. So there's a little bit of demand in here that we may be able to lean on, but I need to be aware of this supply here up above me. So I'm going to not do anything until we break above that supply. That's what I want to see is, do we break above that supply? I mean, we could even base in front of it if possible and for a breakout, but I need to break above that supply for trend to be officially determined. So heading into a Friday, always remember that when carrying futures positions over a Friday, you take additional risk. So make sure that you hedge that utilizing options. If you've got a question on options on futures, go to tradersarmy.com. In our free classes, we've actually done a class on options on futures, so take a look. So hope you guys have an amazing day. I appreciate y'all coming so much to the channel. Remember to hit that like button, and then I will talk to you all soon. See ya.